Hi, welcome to my workshop, which is really, as you can see, just a corner of my garage. I've got a Harbor Freight workbench, a few hand tools, a few power tools, nothing fancy. So if I can build a guitar, anybody can build a guitar. Can I build a guitar? I don't know. I never tried before. So why am I trying to build a guitar and enter it in the Great Guitar Build-Off of 2021? Well, I've done some guitar repairs. It started out, I had an old Fender guitar. I bought it in 2008, brand new, $250. And last year, year before last, 2019, the bridge lifted off. Talked to a couple of local luthiers about what it would cost to repair it. And bottom line is it wasn't worth it, right? Way more than the original price of the guitar, way more than the guitar is worth now. So I thought, well, I really hate to see this guitar go into a landfill, but it's not playable as it is and it's too expensive to fix it. Maybe I can fix it myself. So I went online, I found a series of videos by this guy named Jerry Rosa, link in the description below. And one video in particular about why do bridges lift off and how to fix it. And I looked at it and I thought, well, yeah, I can do that. So I repaired the guitar myself. It was the first time I'd ever done any lutherie work. And it was kind of fun. And it came out okay, not the best in the world as far as the where the polyurethane finish had flaked off on either side of the bridge. It was really not. You can still see it. If you know where to look, you know, it's what my wife calls a 10-foot paint job, right? From 10 feet away, it looks perfect. But when you're right up on it, you can definitely tell it's been repaired. But I thought it came out okay, and the guitar is still playable, and I love the guitar, and it's not in the landfill, so I'm happy. And then I had, I saw another guitar on Craigslist, and that one was a basket case. It was in pieces. It was an old arch-top guitar, and the neck had come completely unglued. It had come, and the owner had taken it completely apart, planning to restore it, and then realized he was never going to have time to do it. And he had all the parts in a box. And I bought it for $30, was able to restore it, get it playing pretty nicely. The necks on those old guitars don't have truss rods, and after it had string tension on it for a couple of weeks, it bowed a little bit. And so because of that, I still liked the way it sounded, but it wasn't as comfortable for me to play. So I sold it to a guy who plays slide guitar. He was thrilled to get it. And so basically I bought it for $30, sold it for $200. Which brings me to this project. I was so proud of that one, I couldn't wait to show pictures of it to my friends. And one couple in particular, Richard and Nancy, got really excited when they saw the pictures of the before and after. And that's when I found out Nancy's late husband was a luthier and a guitarist. And Nancy said, I have a box of old guitar stuff. Do you want it? I said, well, yeah, of course. So among the other things in the box Nancy gave me was this body. This is, it's a nice, I mean, this is heavy. I wish you could feel it. And as far as I can tell, it's mahogany. I suppose it could be Sapelli or one of the other mahogany substitutes. I have no idea when he bought it, you know, if he cut it out himself. I don't know much about it. But it's pretty wood, and it's cut out, as you can see, it's a Telecaster shape, but it's got the extra pickup cut out for what, you know, the Nashville style Telecaster, where traditionally you'll have the neck and the bridge pickups from the traditional Telecaster setup, and the middle pickup from a Stratocaster, and a 5-way switch instead of a 3-way switch. So that's what I'm planning to do with this one. I think it's going to be really pretty when it's done. There's a couple of, I don't know if you can see them on the camera, there's a couple of little dings here, and it looks like when they drilled the holes between the pickup cavities, the drill might have hit here and taken a little nick out of it. I was kind of worried about that, and then I realized that's all going to be under the pick guard anyway. There's a little bit of a blemish right here, but that'll sand out. And then also in the box was this neck, which is from a based on the serial number. As you can see, it's a Squire by Fender, Affinity Telecaster. And based on the serial number, I think it was made in 2009. It's definitely made in China. The neck is nice and flat. I checked it with a straight edge. I checked the frets with a fret rocker. It's all nice and level. So, like, why build a neck when you have this nice neck sitting around? I'm of two minds about the logo. So, on the one hand, it is a Squire neck, but I don't want some future possible, after I die, owner of the guitar going, oh, look at this Squire Telecaster, because it's not. It's a guitar I built. So I really think I'm going to scrape off this logo and put my own logo on there. So, and then about the time that I was starting to think about building this guitar, that's when they announced the Great Guitar Build-Off 2021. And I thought, if I enter that, I have a lot of unfinished projects. You don't know me. I'm always starting stuff and not finishing it. I thought, if I enter the contest, that gives me a strong incentive because I've spent money to get this thing finished. So the first thing I want to do, there's two things I need to do right away. There's a pencil mark center line on here. Again, I don't know if you can see that on the camera. And I think the first thing I want to do before I do anything else, because when I sand it, that pencil mark's going to disappear. So I think I want to go ahead and drill the mounting holes for the bridge and drill the hole for the end pin, because that'll give me references for center lines when I attach the neck and such. So I think I want to do that before I do any sanding. The next thing I want to do, the corners on this thing are really sharp. I have a little router table. I have a 3/16 inch diameter router roundover bit. So that's the next thing I'm going to do after I drill those holes. I'm going to route the corners off of this thing, and then it'll be ready for finishing. Oh, and then sand it, of course. Hours and hours, no doubt, of sanding. And then it'll be ready for finishing. And I think the plan I have for finishing it is, I think, is going to be really pretty. So with that said, let's get started on drilling those holes. Okay, so now I have marked the holes for the bridge mount for the screws. I've got the right size drill bit, and I've marked some the depth of the length of the mounting screws on the drill bit, so I don't drill too deep into this wood. I would really hate to come out of the back of this thing and ruin a nice guitar body. So let's drill some holes. Okay, that's done. Next thing is going to be to set up the router table and route the corners. I'm stopping because I just started smelling the sawdust and realized that I should be wearing a respirator or a N95 mask, so let me go get one. I'll be right back. Okay, now that I've properly masked up, let's do this again. Where did I leave off? Right there. Okay, so that's our rounded corners. So we've got the holes drilled for mounting the bridge. I need to drill the hole for the end pin here. And then the next step is sanding. And that's going to be very tedious and time consuming, and I'm not going to make you watch me do it. So I'll see you again when this is sanded and ready to finish.